All right, I am live. Well, the good thing about this, I don't have to post it anywhere. Oh wow. Well, I don't have to do anything. That's the good part since it's live. Okay. Uh. Well, fortunately, unfortunate. It looks like Danny may not appear, but it's okay. I'll read as much as I can for 1 hour. So, where did I? Yeah, I remember. Okay. Again, sorry guys. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out where I am right. There we go. I think this is the whole thing. Cute girls are a treasure. Treasure. It's only natural for them. Start from those awful, hateful heroes that defeated you. After the battle, they hailed as the 7 heroes, and they each formed their own country. I'll start from here. I'm not sure if I remember reading this part. Reading this part in my last. Again, I don't remember. I remember reading this part last time, but it's okay. It's okay. Anyway, let's continue. Own country of those 4 of them already dead of old age, but 3 of them have long lifespans, so they're still alive. No doubt the 7 heroes were the other famous high-level players from X-Gate Online. Each of them mastered their own classes, or specialized in a gimmick and went hunting or boss killing. Several times together, they were former comrades. I wonder how they are. Are they like me, where on the inside they're players or not? Of course, I'd like them to be the former, but I won't be able to tell unless I see them in person. That's a good question. I wonder. No, I don't think so. I was gonna say I wonder if every created character, the original creator is like, living inside them like a are. Comrade. For now, let's set meeting them again as one of my objectives while I travel around this world. Ah, the 12 heavenly stars are alive and well. However, they're all scattered and spread after you were defeated, and right now, I only know where 6 of them are. Of course, 2 of them have sided with the Devil King as revenge against humanity, for having you having beaten you. The 12 Heavenly Stars. Their official title was the Conquering 12 Heavenly Stars, and they were NPCs or companion monsters. One of the classes I'd master was Monster Team, which gave me a skill to tame any monster I defeated, with certain chances of success. Once they became friendly, their stats and data were changed from when they were wild. But for a monster team who had almost no ability to fight themselves, taming strong monsters was a matter of who had almost no ability to fight themselves. Taming, wait, what? I'm sorry. This was a matter of life and death, and I was okay. Taming strong monsters was a matter of life and death, and I was very lucky. I've gotten boss monsters that only appeared in events and rare monsters. In the way of, okay, that should do. Hopefully you guys can still see. But yeah, I couldn't read some of the text, so I had to move. But it's okay. That basically never spawned at all. I managed to tame extremely rare high-level monsters, and because of that, I got full of myself and named the 12 strongest of them generals under Lufus, giving them the title of 12 Heavenly Stars. For big bosses, it's cooler to have strong subordinates with titles like the 4 Divine Kings. There was a time when I thought like that. Anyway, please try not to pry into that stuff. It was a mistake of my youth. Well, to be honest, there was also things other than monsters, but that doesn't matter right now. The Devil King, huh? My, even if this was brought on by our own worthlessness, they've done something quite shameful, haven't they? We will have to fix this promptly. And one more goal for the trip, that is to round up all the 12 Heavenly Stars and take responsibility and stop them if they're doing something stupid. Man, to be honest, it's actually causing me stomach problems just thinking about how monsters I've tamed and raised are causing trouble. I'm gonna have to stop them, even if I have to beat them up a little, won't I? DINA. For the 3 heroes that are still alive, as well as the 12 Heavenly Stars that you know of, are you able to put their locations on a map? Yes, certainly. For now, I'm going to see whether or not the heroes are the same as I am. And if the 12 Heavenly Stars are doing something stupid, I'll stop them and return them to the tower. Let's make this the goal of the travels, of my travels for now. Ah, right. And I need money too. It's going to be really important to earn some money since I've got nothing at the moment. I'm gonna have to find some way to make money fast. It's done. I've drawn their locations on this map. Please take a look. I took the paper from DINA and looked at the map. Looking at the heroes first, the closest one to this tower was in the country of Svel. I think that's how you say it. 1,400 kilometers to the north. That was the location of one of the 11th hero Megrez, and right next to Svel, at the base of nearby volcano, was one of the 12 Heavenly Stars, the Ram Ares. He'd built a fort and was currently repeating attempts to invade the country. What the hell is that sheep doing? Anyway, this is probably the best as our destination, best as our first destination. Sorry guys, I don't know why I'm tripping up. I'll get an ulcer if I don't stop that dumbass sheep. Aw man, prospects are grim, aren't they? But it's true, there's a part of me that thinks this will be interesting. Now then, let's start by earning some money and to travel with. Why don't we? There was a town named Trade City Yadlir. It was to the east of the country of Leviathan, and was an independent city that didn't belong to any country. It was perfectly placed right in the middle of all the most influential countries, and thanks to that, lots of merchants and travelers. Okay, so yeah, I'm sorry. It's a trading destination. They'll be able to somehow earn a decent amount of money, or at least enough money to be able to travel. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think she has to worry about money due to one main important factor. She's feared amongst all the people. Of course, that's thanks to her special skill, whether he can control it or not, but point is, ain't no one gonna object. I wouldn't be surprised if he got money for free. I'll be honest. I would not be surprised if he got free. That'd be funny as shit. Anyway, continuing. Gathered within its walls, making a city where money rained from the skies. Adventures weren't an exception to this. And to be honest, this city was where all new characters spawned. This world was 200 years after the game I knew, but it seemed that I can't pronounce it, never changed, at least in its liveliness. I was just a little relieved that a place I knew still existed. Yeah, I feel like I can get pretty familiar with this. DINA, it is very hard to move. Please bear with it. You're famous. You don't want to draw too much attention, right? Okay, so she's probably wearing like some kind of clothing to make himself not look conspicuous. That I can imagine that could be a pain considering you have those crazy wings of yours. So that must feel extremely uncomfortable. I was wandering around the familiar city with a cloak hiding my entire body. Yeah, I figured. In a style that could only be described as a suspicious person with the dubiousness factor in full force. I wrapped my wings, which were in the way, around my body and had the cloak worn over that so as to forcefully hide my identity. The idea was proposed by DINA. On top of that, the cloak that I was wearing, the one that I came back to this world with, was conveniently equipped with a hood. Here, I guess. Yeah, it's true that this hides my identity, but you know, looking like this just makes me seem even more suspicious and draws more attention, and my wings are getting in the way of my body, so I basically can't move my arms at all. What the hell is this? Some kind of new king? Bruh. I don't even want to think about that. Now then, Mistress Lupus, you said you wanted to earn money for your travels first, but honestly, speaking in this is going to be really difficult after all. Your face is too well known, so it'll be hard to find work. There really aren't any people that could consider hiring the Black-Winged Tyrant. True. That was 200 years ago. There should not be that many that still remember our face. This world does not even have photographs. That's far too naive. Miss Lufus, this trade city is a place where many countries and people gather. Among those are elves, with their extremely long lifespan. People like that still remember you clearly, I bet. Is that what is most known in lore when it comes to elves? They're known to having a long lifespan? Just trying to make sure if that's like, you know, 100% true or not. I didn't know elves were known for that. I just thought I nodded in understanding in response to Dina's statement. Now that she mentions it, there are races like that in this world. Or rather, I myself am like that. A cheater creature with a huge lifespan, most of which consider the prime of my life. In the first place, the heaven winged are said to be a race derived from angels who were God's messengers. I don't know if it's because of that, but our lives are long, with the average lifespan being ridiculous 1500 years. The fact that I still look the same after 200 years is because of that. By the way, a flavor Lufus was 275 years old when she was beat. So now I'm 475. In human years, I was 14 when I was sealed, and now I'm 24. On the outside, I look like a 15 to 17-year-old girl though. Especially those black wings. Even those who don't know about you know what black wings mean. It's the worst. Forbidden color to the heaven winged after all. Having black wings is still within the realm of normal, no? In fact, they should be considered rather plain. I'll repeat, the heaven winged are said to be descendants of angels. Even the race themselves believe this, and because of that, they pride themselves on clean, pure white wings. It was even said that pure white wings were proof of being heaven winged. And among said race, attractiveness is actually decided based on color of a person's rather than their face or body. In fact, courting between men and women starts with showing each other their... Are you serious? That's how you court? That's how you court a woman or a guy? By showing your wings? But you see it all the time. Okay, so what? Apparently your wings decide whether you're attractive or... That's some nice there, girl. How far they take? Anyway, I'll stop. Let's continue. Speaking honestly, even a complete fat... Oh, bruh. Ugo with art Asen all over, and the fattest lip with smelly breath and wearing an anime girl t-shirt, what the hell, would be considered a hot guy if he had pure white wings. But on the opposite side, even somebody with a perfect body and face would be considered ugly if their wings weren't white enough. Racist. My pitch black wings immediately place me out of the question. Oh my, yeah, my pure black wings. They completely blow away any consideration of my other features. I'd just be treated as a monster. In human terms, let's see. It's like someone had green skin. No eyebrows and antenna or feelers coming out of their forehead. Something like that. I see. Yeah, you come off as like another species. It wasn't even a matter of looks anymore. They won't even look at you as a member of the same race. Of course, I knew that already and made Lufus with black wings with full knowledge. The reason was simple. Isn't it cool to have forbidden wings? That was it. I mean, it makes you feel special in a way. It makes you feel special or unique, and because different. People like different. Of course, there was a mountain of other players who felt the same way. And pitch black wings weren't uncommon at all in the game. In fact, black wings were actually downright decent compared to other designs such as golden wings or a set where each wing was a different color. The worst ones even had each feather a different color. And once you consider all of that, well, black wings just weren't that conspicuous anymore. If I stand out badly, then what if there was one with the rainbow colored wings? That's what I started thinking. It's not normal at all. I'm begging you. Realize how special you are already. Ah, okay. We understand. So don't yell. DINA got mad, so I shrugged. Oh man. So I guess unlike in the game, black wings are really that different, huh? This is probably going to get pretty inconvenient. Then getting back on topic. There is just one job that will hire even you without question. Indeed, that would be adventuring, or in other words, selling your life, right? Yes, that won't require any sort of standing. As long as you have your body, anybody can become one. Adventurers, people who sold their life for bargain bin prices, you didn't need anything special to start being one. Neither money nor status mattered, and even villains or slaves could get jobs. In exchange, there was absolutely no guarantee safety. If something were to happen, even if you were to lose your arms or legs or even die, neither your players nor your organization would take any responsibility. And on top of that, you'd be considered the lowest in social classes. It was a job for homeless people where nowhere to go, or jobless people with nothing to do. A job for the weakest in society. Wow, okay. Tell me how it really is. Shit. For the people who don't even know if they'll be able to eat tomorrow. Those people all started with dreams of making it big in one stroke before meeting their ends instead of dying like dogs. Adventuring was just that kind of job. The game, it was easy to do since you just revive right afterwards. In such a dark background was just that, background. In fact, almost all players started off making money by being an adventurer. And the number of adventures easily exceeds tens to even hundreds of thousands. What about being the lowest case of society, you say? Well, NPCs will curse you out a little. So what? But this is reality. Dying is the end. And cruel situations that don't occur in game will probably happen here. Will I be fine? This body is Lufus Mafhal's, however you say it. So I don't think I'll die. Even if I play around a little. But will I be able to stand the sight of blood myself? Will I? Who can't even look at a cat or crow that's been run over? Be able to fight? Be honest, I'm nothing but worried. We're here. Urged on by DINA, I entered the building. I was slightly dirty bar, and the entire building was made of wood. The first floor was a cafeteria, and there were several tables installed. There were people sitting here, there, who I could tell were clearly thugs just from a glance at their ugly mugs. This sounds like a bar or some kind of pub. When we entered, all the men focused their beast-like gazes on DINA. They were probably wary of the suspicious intruder right next to her. So no one approached us though. This air that is the very definition of cesspool. How nostalgic. Now that you mention it, you were an adventurer before founding your country, weren't you, Lufus? Didn't I say something weird just now? As if it was natural? Nostalgic? No. Well, it's true, this is probably nostalgic. As I said before, most players started off as adventurers. I wasn't an exception. I fulfilled several quests in my time. But, right, I've never been to this bar, but it still feels like it's nostalgic. Oh no, as I thought, my memories of Lufus, memories are mixing together a little. Yeah, almost like you literally lived her life. Welcome. What'll it be? Or do you want a room? Bruh. Bill. We want an adventuring job. You for real, girl? The owner of the place, an inhospitable looking bald guy. Always a bald guy that looks kind of creepy. Looked at DINA in doubt. She was clearly thin and didn't look the least bit suited for violence. It's true that if she said that she'd be an adventurer, the first thing you do is doubt her sanity. But DINA cheerfully laughed in the face of that reaction and said it was fine. I'm not the one who will be taking the job. This person will. This red mantle over here? Well, that's probably fine then for now. Come to the back, why don't you? I want to see how good you are. Oh, interesting. Oh, look, there's stat points on the side here. Adventurers were people who could die at any moment. Still, if everyone died without completing the job, the one who gave them the job in the first place would have their reputation plummet. Once rumors started going around, saying things like, don't post any requests you have at the inn there. You won't get anyone good. You'd stop getting any business. That's why agent tested your ability like this. Or, that's what DINA whispered in my ear. When I came to the back of the inn, like I was told to do, The owner was there with several stone statues. Each of the statues looked the same. A nice guy with a beard. That's a stone golem made by an alchemist, right? Alchemist was a class that allowed you to spend materials to make a lot of different gear and tools, which golems were one. They were NPCs that could fight on their own and were reliable friends to those who traveled solo. Their strength depended on the materials used and the skill level of the maker, and they turned out exactly the same given the same conditions. There was also no way to recover their HP outside of an alchemist repair skill. And once the golem was destroyed, it was over for the golem. On top of that, there was a problem where the AI picked its target on its own, so it could end up attacking something you didn't want to attack. They were convenient, but not something to be used frequently until higher levels. I also made a lot of golems to inflate my armies during the final battle, but I remember them being torn apart like paper by the higher level players. Well, you only can do what you can. You get what you paid for. That's what I say. You get what you paid for. Anyway, continuing. All right. Higher. I'll have you fight these golems here. I'll be judging your skills based on how many you can beat and how long it takes. That sounds fine. I replied and took a step forward. On top of being hard to move because of that cloak, my wings were wrapped over my arms, so I couldn't use them. To be honest, it was quite the handicap. But, well, it's probably fine. In that case, in the worst case, I just let my level difference speak for me and use pressure, but most likely I should be able to get through with just kicks. Really? Alright, let's see how hard they are. Pause. You ready? You may start anytime. Right, then I'll turn them on. The owner said, and the golem's eyes lit up. At the same time, I activated a ranger skill, Observing Eye. It was a simple but convenient skill that allowed me to see the opponent's level and remaining HP. And if the level difference was large enough, I could also see their stats. The golem stats were revealed, and they were Stone Golem, level 5, Artificial Life Form, 68 HP, 0 SP, Strength 73, Dexterity 36. Okay, Vitality 80, okay, that's large lifespan. Intelligence 5, so stupid. Agility 27, Mind 5, and Luck. I don't like that luck skill. Okay, well, it's a small fry, just like it looks. With this level, even adventurers just starting the game can easily do it after leveling for about 30 minutes. It's not hard to get stronger than even just one battle if a high level player is helping you fight a strong monster. And there's 5 of them. It does seem like there's no point to these golems other than helping measure one's abilities. Yeah, they're there just to help. It's just test. It's not meant to do anything except measure your skills. Okay, in fact, it'll probably be better to quit the game if you lose to the... That's true. I should check my stats too, just to be honest. The level difference is so high, it's hard to tell how far I should hold. Okay, level 1000. Okay. Race. Heaven Winged. Class levels. Warrior 100. Swordsman. Swordsmaster 100. Grappler 100. Champion 100. Christ. Monster Tamer 100. Alchemist 100. Ranger 100. Strider 100. I don't know how to say that. 100. Priest 50. Esper 50. HP. Oh, gee, Christ. SP. My God. I'm not even gonna look at all these numbers. Okay, they're ridiculous, and the vitality and agility is insane, though. What the hell? Wrong as shit. Body, Queen of Heaven's dress. Status, condition, nullification. HP regeneration. Leg, swift horse boot. Okay. Horse boots, field movement speed up. Other cloak or 7 days, half all elements. Okay. Clearly he's hacks. Yeah, this is just bullying the weak at this point. By the way, you're not imagining that my stats are weird. Levels themselves are maxed out at 1000, but stats have no limit. In other words, you can raise your stats as high as you want with dropping items. They're all rare items, but outside of a small portion of them, they're not impossible to get, especially the HP stat item. Thanks to that one being relatively easy to get, my HP is pretty high. I just realized my mic was actually low, so hopefully you guys were able to hear me. I digress, but for Heaven Wing, without doping items, but with the same level class levels, at level 1000, they'd be around 70,000 HP. Now that you know that, you should be able to tell just how far I boosted my HP. Of course, it's not quite at the level of bosses you'd be expected to fight at max level, but I know it's higher than most bosses you'll find out in the world. Being called the wild last boss definitely wasn't for show. Let's see. While we're on the subject, I'll explain about levels and classes too. Levels are just what they say on the tin. They're a stat that's already a given in RPGs, and they are raised by fighting to gain a certain amount of experience. The max level is 1000, and it's impossible to go further than that. Even boss characters adhere to this absolute rule of X gate. Next are class levels. These indicate the levels in class you acquired. Oh, okay. And classes go up to 100. Okay, so classes are 100. The player itself is 1000. Huh, interesting. Okay. There. Regular levels. The class you have at the moment, your level is the one that's raised, and its stats you get for leveling up. So it's pretty important. Oh, okay. For example, if you want to play a frontline character, but you spend all your time in rear line character classes, before long your stats will be far and away from being suited to being on the front line. That kind of situation is quite possible. I feel like that part of the game is a lot like a tabletop RPG. You can really tell that the previous game at the line was a TRPG. What's a TRPG? I've never heard that before. I've heard of RPG, but not TRPG. And once you reach the maximum level of 100 in a class, you'll get a message saying your class level is 100. Please change classes. And from then on, until you change classes, you won't gain any level. So no matter how much you fight, there's two ways around that. The first is to do as the message says and change classes. By repeating this, the player will eventually get to level 1000. And with 10 classes under their belt, their character will be complete. Of course, there is no need to follow the same class until level 100. For example, I've only raised my priest and esper levels to 50 each, forcing my number of classes to 11. The other method is to pay for it, really, like by paying real money. You're paying real money to get to you must, at that point, you must be lazy. And if you're that lazy to grind and get the levels you need, then honestly, you really shouldn't even be playing games like this. I'll be honest with you straight up. The other method is to pay real money. You can raise a class's max level to 200 and can keep leveling that class as is. However, in exchange, there'll be basically no new skills to learn. Most skills for a class are learned by level 100. So basically, the only merit of continuing in the same class is stat gains. I mean, that's not a bad trade-off, though. I personally don't believe that's a bad trade-off. For example, staying as a swordsman or a grappler for the whole 200 levels will get your attack and HP stats higher than most of the frontliners, which is the biggest reason to pay. Also, some skills scale with class level, so there are a lot of people that pay to get 200 because of that. Other than that, let's see. Some classes will unlock a secret class or skill by getting it to level 200. It seems, but most of them haven't been discovered. People say that most likely you won't find that stuff unless you level your character pretty stupidly. Yeesh. Very complicated system. Very complicated system. I kind of get it. Levels don't really change other than your class, and I get it. You basically do 10 classes. You level up 10 classes to level 100 and you get to level 1000. And if you just keep doing the same, apparently you do have the option of continuing the same class over again. The only thing that'll affect is your stats. So is it better just to repeat the same class over and over again if it's possible, or different class? I mean, if there's 10 classes, I'm assuming there is, then yeah, do all of them. Anyway, that doesn't matter right now. For now, it's time for my first fight since I found myself in this body. I see no reason for this fight to be any trouble, but for now, let's try some stuff out. One of the golems swung its arm at me. I was at max wariness, wondering what kind of attack would be coming, but I lost a lot of tension seeing the speed of the attack. It's slow. No, it's way too slow. What the hell? Is this like a Lucky Hero's unlucky punch from a certain manga that came out a while ago? This is exactly what people mean when they say time stops, with how slow things are. I feel like time is stopped and I can do anything. What's with these sluggish, unmotivated movements? And am I being underestimated? What dull golems. I couldn't stop myself from forcing my displeasure, and with a light jump, I got on top of the golem. Then with about 10% of my power, I stomped on it. When it died, the golem was crushed flat like it was made of paper and completely lost its previous form. Shit. Oh, so that's the... GG. GG? Is that a GG, mate? Is that a GG? Sheesh. Oh, so yeah, that's DINA. I like her outfit. I'm not gonna lie to you. Lufus, the main character. I'm not gonna lie, you look kind of creepy in that cloak, bruh. I'll be honest, you look kind of creepy. Jeez. But yeah, okay, interesting. Well, I don't think the guy at this bar or whatever is gonna complain. I'm sure they're gonna get the job now. Yeah, I'm just saying there's no need to think about it. Like, if you still need to think about it, you're an idiot. Like, just hire them. Let them get the job. Okay. So brittle, way too brittle. A cardboard box is harder than that. Pause. Sorry, guys. Just trying to... There we go. Bring the mic closer. We're good levels. Okay, let's continue. As I can... Motherfucker! Oh, wait, no. It's... My bad. Whoops! Let that curse slip out. Anyway, my bad. My remote just dropped. Anyway. A cardboard box is harder than that. I pulled out my leg, which was buried in the ground up to the knee, and glanced at the owner. I don't really care, but isn't this ground too soft? No, bro, you're just too strong. Owner, there is no need to hold back. Can you not make these things move even a little more realistic? Huh? What? Huh? No way. The golem was squished into in an instant. What just happened? Could it be you didn't see what happened? I thought that the golem was slow and brittle, but from the way the owner reacted, it appears that I'm wrong. Ah, I see. I am wrong. It's not that the golems were too slow or too brittle. It's just that once I start concentrating for battle, I'm too strong and too fast. Our perceptions of time were far too different. We see. In other words, that was their all? Those golems were level 5, and level 5s were newbie adventurers. Or, in this world, just strong enough to live on their own. On the other hand, I'm level 1000, and I'm especially confident in my speed. In the end, their fastest just looked slow to me. And the difference in perception of time was enough that it was actually hard to try to get hit on purpose. It was the same in the game where if the difference in speed was too much, even just standing there like a log will cause attacks to miss. Okay, so he nasty like that. Gotcha. Let's see. The fight between me and the golem was just like that. This won't do at all. I lightly kicked the second golem apart. It felt like I was kicking tofu. They fell apart so easily. It was actually hard to tell if I defeated them or not. Fell apart so easily. It was actually hard to tell if I defeated them or not. Ah, this isn't a fight anymore. It's just a match of attrition. I'm guaranteed to win. This is just a farce that gives me no sense of accomplishment, like accidentally walking over a bug. But still, this is a test, so I have to do it. I had no idea what, if anything, could be measured by me doing this work. That just involved wastefully breaking things, but I still kicked apart the remaining 3 golems. I only moved leisurely and listlessly, like kicking a stone on the side of the road. But even then, the golems didn't even manage to look like they were trying to dodge, and broke disappointingly without any form of resistance. Before, I was thinking of this as my first battle in this body, but let me correct that now. I still haven't fought in this body at all. Too quick, too strong. You just what? The owner in shock. Shot me a look filled with fear. Oh no, looks like I made a mistake. It's not good that I garnered this much attention to myself right now. Oh well, it's already done. Let's take this as a lesson and be more careful next time. Wait a second, Lufus. That was too much. Unlike 200 years ago, power levels are a lot lower, so you'll just scare people if you don't hold back more. DINA ran over and whispered her complaints into my ear. Wait, did I? Yeah, okay. Actually, this is the first I'm hearing of levels being a lot lower than 200 years ago. Wouldn't that be something you tell me earlier usually? Sorry about that, DINA. It really does seem that we have lost some of our instincts in these 200 years. We made. Oh my gosh. Oh wait, 200 years. We made a mistake on how much to hold back. Jeez. Be more careful next time. I should have used only around 10% of my power, but apparently even that was too much. I guess I should settle with a flick to the forehead next time for opponents like that. But I can't move my arms right now, so that won't work. I guess I'll just have to move as slow as I can and kick as lightly as my gosh. This guy is that OP. Okay. Still, it's weird. It's not like I see people moving that slowly normally, but it becomes like that the moment I start thinking of things as a battle. In other words, I'm smoothly transitioning between normal operation and battle mode. But is that really something I can do myself? Could it be I'm being helped by Lufus' instincts? So how is it, owner? I think her abilities are more than enough. Yes, you're right. You'll be able to take on any job without a problem. Jobs are posted up in the bars, so just take what you like. Now that we'd gotten permission from the owner, Dina and I went back inside, and we took a look at the jobs that were posted on the wall, but none of them really stood out to me. To put it bluntly, I didn't feel like doing too many of these jobs. I wanted one where I could make a lot of money in a single go. I wanted to hurry and get to Svel. The best one would be an escort request from here to Svel or something similar. That way we could get to Svel while actually earning money. I could just fly there by myself, but I did that, I'd leave Dina behind. But with a carriage, even she could be easily carted away. Or, that's what I thought. There's nothing good. Nothing. There were escort jobs on carriages, but they all went to Lavington, far from going to Svel. It was the opposite direction. Unfortunately, there weren't any jobs like what I was hoping for. Ah, Miss Lufus, what about this one? Dina was holding a piece of paper, so I looked at it. Requesting, finding a cat. Difficulty 2 stars. Reward 100 L per found cat. I thought it was just one cat. The 12 cats were keeping. The 12 cats that we were keeping disappeared. Please find them. So this is a cat rescue. It's 1200 L just for finding 12 cats. It's a steal. Ah, yeah, it certainly is a good deal. 1200 L for being decent at finding cats. It was true that was a good deal. L was the name of the currency in this world, and translated to Japanese yen, a single L would be 200 yen. In other words, completing this would net us 240,000 yen. Isn't that like 200 and how much is that when transitioning from L to yen? Well, no, from transitioning from yen to USD. They must either really love cats or be nobles with the money to spare. Either way, I'm jealous of how much they have to spend. In addition, although I said that 1 L was the equivalent of 200 yen, that was just an in-game fluff. In actuality, it was very much the opposite. Huh. This was completely natural, as comparing game money to real money would obviously result in real money winning. Between an item and a player paid 10,000 L for, and one that cost 500 yen. 500 yen. The latter would always be clearly stronger. The world is a tough place. Let's not. We are not good at searching for things. That is the realm of beastmen. Then how about this one? Requests, orc slaying, difficulty 4 stars, 1500 L. I think he can do this. I mean, considering his level, how many classes he maxed out. Bro, just do this one. Okay, an orc nest was built near our village, and they're causing problems, doing as they please. Please help us. But we just gotta take down some orcs. That's better. Oh, this one is pretty nice. Strange that no one has taken it yet. My voice filled with excitement, seeing the request that Dina had brought me. Even if it was a job, I'd want to hunt orcs. After all, these orcs have a high 3% chance of dropping the HP boosting item, orc meat. Orcs, better known as pork bowls, in the game, to players, they existed only to be eaten. They were literally pork. Especially for those of us who maxed out levels, they were safe and easy way of getting HP up items. And we'd hunt orcs basically every day. It was just a daily routine to destroy a whole nest. There would even be people camped out by orc spawn points, just waiting patiently for more to spawn. Huh. Because of that, in the game, orcs became a rare monster that was almost never seen in the wild. Any orc that managed to take even a single step out of their respawn points could already be considered heroes to their own race. Of course, there'd be no way they'd ever be able to attack a human village. They weren't even allowed to group up. They'd be slaughtered and eaten as soon as they spawn. So orcs Orcs are basically pigs for the slaughter, essentially. Orcs were monsters that were worth killing. Actually, it's kind of sad for orcs to be gathered into a whole herd and attack humans. This request is actually almost moving. Well, that's because there's no merit to it. What? Orc hunting by itself would be a merit, no? Well, that would be the case for you, but in this age, that's not true. After all, even a single orc is as strong as an average veteran warrior. So having to exterminate a whole nest would be difficult and require an entire night brigade. And even then, there'd probably be a lot of casualties. And after taking on all that, you'll get 1500 L. No one would take it. Times really do change, huh? Back then, rather than complaining about 1500 L, there'd be floods of people that would pay 15,000 to even be able to take the job. I signed in disappointment, exasperated at the difference to the game. To me, hunting orcs was nothing but merit. Rather than taking money for it, I was even thinking I'd pay to be able to do it. And since I'd be getting paid on top of getting to hunt, it was as if I only got the right to eat as much amazing steak as I wanted, but was told, if you eat steak, I'll give you 30,000 yen. Wait, what? The deal was so good I could only assume that something was up. So this means it is all right to completely destroy this orc nest? Of course. Right. Let us take this one. There is no way we can let this opportunity go. We can earn both money and food before getting on our journey. Yay! So it's back to the Ice Ages for orgs, huh? I probably shouldn't be saying this since I brought you the posting myself, but I feel sorry for the orcs. I mean, animal lovers, what can you say? I can get paid, get a lot of meat, and even raise my HP. If I let this go, I am a failure of a max level player. Calm down, Kirito. Without a second thought, I took the paper to the owner and told him I'd be taking the job before leaving the inn. Oh yes, DINA. Yes, what is it? The village which was supposedly near the orc nest was about half a day away from the I don't know how to pronounce that, by foot. On the way there, I was asking DINA questions to kill time. This world had several inconsistencies with my knowledge of it. As one might expect, 200 years was not a small amount of time and made a lot of difference. Earlier, you said that power levels now are much lower than 200 years ago. Tell us exactly how much in a way they're easy to understand. 200 years ago, back when this was the world of the game, I was the strongest player. I was at the top combined stat rankings, and I was confident I wouldn't lose easily to anybody. It wasn't that I was far and away ahead of everyone else. In fact, players like me were everywhere. If I remember right, the total number of players was around 8 million. Sheesh, 8 million. This was a popular game. Out of that number, about 20% of the players were at max level. And being max level was the lowest requirement to be considered a high-ranking player. Of course, getting to level 1000 took quite a lot of work, but still, it was something you'd eventually get to by hunting every day. Just being level 1000 was enough to be considered a high-ranking player. That was truly difficult, and important came after that. When you were tested on just how efficiently you can get by stat raising items to get stronger, now that your level wasn't going anywhere, doing just that and raising your stats stupidly high once you were max level was how players started to get famous as high level player. Jesus Christ. Again, this game has a lot of complications. I figured, isn't it just the people in this world basically don't use stat raising items at all anymore? In other words, they stop growing once they reach max level, and that was the peak. Okay. Oh snap. Okay, let's see. It's about 1 hour. I'm gonna stop it right here though, guys, because I still got another stream after this. we pretty much reach the 1 hour mark. But yeah, I want to talk a little bit about this game. So we got to learn the world, the mechanics of the game. Not sure how much the mechanics of the game apply here, since a lot of I mean, there's a lot of elements of isekai and realism in this game, if you know what I mean. I mean, world. I say game, but it's actually a world. Stats, all of those things do apply, but other variables are there as well. Still, so they're gonna be hunting orgs, huh? I wonder, since again, killing orgs in a game is not the same as killing orgs for real. So I wonder if the main character, how he's going to be reacting to like confronting an org and killing and eating it. Because again, this would probably be his first kill ever to come to this world. Sure, he wants a challenge, and maybe, just maybe, he may not even feel any remorse, because once again, just like he's receiving memories of Lufus through her, he might also be receiving her personality, becoming more like her, potentially cruel, which I'm not gonna lie to you, that would make for an interesting twist. The guy within his avatar is becoming more like the avatar. It's almost, he is the avatar itself. Why am I thinking The Last Airbender now? But yeah, that's what I'm gravitating towards. Again, though, pretty good chapter, though. Okay, so at this point, we are 47 pages in. Hopefully, so yeah, there's gonna be one more stream for whatchamacallit, a wild last boss appeared. I'm not sure if it's gonna be tomorrow, more than likely this weekend, and that'll be it for at least these set of 3 episodes for it. But I'm not gonna lie to you, in terms of overall story structure, a lot of the game mechanics they explained again gives me a lot of SAO. I'm sorry I keep bringing it back to SAO, but when I think of gaming, game mechanics, stats, levels, all that stuff, I think of SAO. Like hardcore, I think of SAO. Maybe a little bit lookism, but mostly SAO. But it's fine though. I have no issues with it. Again, I honestly do love that factor in this series. And more than anything, very curious to see the other characters, especially the other heroes, the 12 heavenly stars, I think that's what they're called. I know before they were just considered NPCs that abide by the will of the player. I'm just very curious how their personalities are involved in the story of this series and how it will affect the main character going forward. I mean, he did say that he would be no longer treating NPCs as nothing more as recreational use, or are just there for decorations for his tower, his castle, or whatever. Which, okay, that'll be interesting. Basically, the game is now becoming a reality. Reality is now warped to this. I'm sure he'll be warped, considering the fact that he's treating these NPCs as literal people, but so far they have acted as literal people. They have their own consciousness, they have their own opinions, they have their own voice, and they do things that for the best interest of the main character or the main player, however you want to call it. But yeah, let me know what you think though. Let me know what you think though, guys. Again, I'll be streaming more light novel read-alongs, pretty much an hour a day. Every day, I'm not sure, but I'll do my best to get out some as much as possible. Of course, definitely another read along for a wild last boss appeared. Excuse me. And by the way, I don't mind the digital version, but sometimes I wish there was a physical version. I don't know, that for me that seems more engaging. But anyway, hopefully you enjoy it. Sometime soon I'm probably gonna get back to 86, reading the 86 light novel. Look forward to it for those that are interested in the light novel readings. I do my best to be good at providing reading content for you. That way you guys don't have to read. You can just read this and then follow with me. Again, up to you. But let me know overall your thoughts, and that's it for this one, guys. Peace. I'm out.